Go get him, go get him. La 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 la.
I'm trying to bring this up on my phone. There we go. On my YouTube side, because when you do when I use my live stream software, it is StreamYard, and of course I can't see the YouTube side. Okay, for right now, thank you. So anyway, let me get my phone situated, and then I will start chatting. Even though there's nobody here yet, that's okay. Uh-oh. Hello, Kaylee. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing all right. So even though it's just you and me, I'm going to still share for right now. We'll just talk. We'll just talk. If somebody watches this later and they did not watch the live stream, thank you for coming. I am Lucretia, and I am one half of Burning Up the Roads and Prepping. And I'm just going to, for the record, kind of explain. Oh, you have news. Hey, somebody pretty good today. I'm somebody pretty good. Well, what do you mean? Hello, Priscilla. How are you? Wyatt is clearly is a good soccer player. And you know, I'm not a soccer fan, but I'm a fan of my grandnephews and nieces having fun, playing sports, learning how to work as a team. So, Kaylee, what is your news? What is your news? While you're typing that out, hello. Remember all those years getting ready for practices, Priscilla? Now we didn't play as young as Wyatt, but we started softball both in the 5th grade, and every spring we would be out there running and stretching and working our butts off to make sure we were ready for games. Anyways, thank you for coming. I'm glad you're here. And today we're going to be talking about something that everybody has heard something about. I've heard a million different things doing some research about this. I will be keeping an eye, Kaylee, on whatever it is you have to say that you have news. Oh, okay. Well, I wish I had won the lottery. Well, that would be wonderful for you, Kaylee. It's actually that I had heart testing functioning at 30%.
30.
Honey, why, as Priscilla says, is your heart functioning so low? Her husband 2 years ago had an event happen where he was almost dead. He almost died. Had he waited the weekend to be checked out, he likely wouldn't have lasted through the weekend. And you know, I'm 60. Kelly is 59. It's from the vaccine. Which vaccine did you do, sweetie? I am so sorry. I have heard that it has caused heart problems for some people, and you're one of those some people. I'm sorry that you're going through that. Is there anything that they can do to help that along? I know my brother-in-law had to have a heart valve replacement because so anyways, did they give you any options? Because truthfully, yes, it would be a new normal. Pfizer. Priscilla, didn't we have Pfizer? Richard, didn't we have Pfizer?
No.
No, we had. No, Rich. Blue Cross Blue Shield is not a producer of anything but a lot of money for their people. I believe we had Pfizer.
Uh-huh. In that case, we did.
Okay, good for you. Good. I'm glad that you're on medicine. There's so many. So let me just tell you, as you know, I'm not a doctor, but I play one on YouTube. No, seriously, sweetheart. There is so many things they can do in some situations. I don't know yours particularly, obviously, but Kelly had a heart valve replaced, and so his heart was functioning like Priscilla, wasn't it like 25%, 24%? And now it's up in the normal range again. It's taken 2 years, but did they confirm that it was the vaccine? Your doctors believe it was the vaccine for some reason. And is there a way to actually confirm it? I mean, other than the onset of condition happened fairly soon after the second dose, or was it a long time after? Yeah, I thought we all had Pfizer. I did fine with it. Hello, Linda's Prepper Kitchen. Thank you for coming. I'm so glad you're here. This is a new lady that I ran across her channel. She has great stuff. She also seems like somebody that you could just sit down with and talk to. So, welcome, Linda. I highly recommend her channel. Kaylee, if you could find the link and drop it for me. Each time I've gotten a vaccine, I've gotten very sick. I was waffling about the vaccine, but I was going to visit someone whose dad is in the 80s, didn't want to get him killed. I think it killed me. No, Kaylee, there is so, like I said, I'm just saying, sweetheart, there are so many things that is available. So you will probably see, you're going to see a heart specialist, and they know. Like I said, my brother-in-law, who's just 59, he was 57, I believe, when it happened. So yeah, she's seeing someone, Priscilla, soon. My brother-in-law had to wear a life vest, as she's saying right here, when he was still in the process of healing. And for instance, Priscilla, maybe his was because of AFib. Anyways, write that down, life vest. Ask them if that's appropriate for your situation. Kelly had to wear it for a while. So your arteries are clear. My valves are good, they say. They say my heart is weak. I need to know exactly what that means. Yes, you need to know exactly what that means. Do you have anybody there that can go with you to the doctor's appointment, Kaylee? I know, I'm not sure that you do, but do you have any extended relatives you're close to, any friends, anybody that could just go with you and sit with you when you talk to the doctor? Wow, honey, I'm so sorry. I mean, it does sound like it. I'm sure it's not the technical terms. Yep, ejection fraction. We all have one. So please keep me informed. No matter what, up or down, text me. I sent you our new phone numbers. Richard and I both. Yeah, look that up, Kaylee. It's very interesting. Very interesting. All right, so here we go. So there's so much going on right now in this world, and our country is up against so many issues. Like I've never seen in 60 years old, I have never seen anything like what's happening. And I enjoy learning about all of this. And because I have a history in research that I never did get to use, that's what I've been doing here. There's a couple of articles I'd like to read to you. or share with you. I'm going to read a little bit from them and then kind of give my idea of what might be, you know, what I think might be going on, or I'd like to hear what you guys think might be going on as well. Remember the thumbs up. And if you feel like sharing out on your own social media, please do. I would much appreciate it. All right, I am going to share the screen with an article. Okay. There we go. Chrome tab. So first, I think I'd like to talk about the baby formula shortage, because it goes to a bigger picture, and I'll explain why for me it goes to a bigger picture. Just want to make sure it's showing up on StreamYard. Yes, it is. All right. So I'm not going to be able to see what you're saying right now. Just give me a few minutes. America is running out of baby formula because 3 companies control the market and babies aren't that profitable. Except in baby girl clothes, and then I'm sure those people make a lot of profit. A baby formula shortage is gripping the U.S. since March, has parents in a panic over where and when they'll be able to find the products they need to feed their kids. The out-of-stock rate, representing the amount of formula that's not in stock compared to what's typically available, was 43%. 43% for the week ending May 8th. That's a crime, in my opinion. That feels like a crime. According to Data Assembly, a provider of real-time product data for, that's who tracks that information. So people are looking for it. They're looking through Facebook groups, their family and friends. They are traveling out of their home areas. This person here, I've looked online. I have my mom in Boston looking, my mother-in-law in Florida looking. Everyone is looking. So how did baby formula crisis spring up in one of the world's richest countries? Experts recall by one of the industry's largest manufacturers, president's supply chain issues and a market dominated by only a few players have combined to form what one consumer goods expert calls a perfect storm, affecting the supply of essential formula to millions of babies across America. So one of the issues, so there was a poison baby formula by Abbott Laboratories. Excuse me for one moment here, please. Haven't had a runny nose all day. On February 17th, Abbott voluntarily recalled its Sturgis manufactured products that shut down the plant following the reports that 4 infants fell ill from bacterial infection and 2 died. There was a whistleblower report submitted to the FDA in October of 2021, alleged further health and safety compliance issues at the facility, and that contributed to formal inspection by the agency earlier in the year. Abbott is now waiting for approval to reopen. We understand the situation is getting urgent. All right. So here it talks about I'm going to be really careful with this because I'm just not sure if it's going to be pronounced right. The Cronbacter Zakaii that was found in environmental testing during the investigation was in non-product contact areas of the facility and has not been linked to any of the known infant illnesses. The FDA did find more problems with the facility that extended beyond the possibility of previous contamination. All right, and then I'm going to jump down here, a monopoly on the market. So I think that most of us understand how monopolies work. A monopoly makes it so that you pay more. It's just the nature of the beast. It's how it is. We're never going to make that be different. So we just have to understand that as long as there's only 3 companies producing baby formula, there is always going to be a chance for a problem. And here they talk about Abbott has approximately 40. So Abbott, who is in trouble with their plant right now and trying to get it back up and running, Abbott had an approximately 43% market share a decade ago, according to its USDA report from 2011, the most recent number available. Really? The most recent number is from 2011? Little has changed since then. The company still maintains exclusive provider contracts in many states with WIC and USDA's Supplemental Nutrition Program for low-income families, which makes up nearly half of formula sales nationwide. In addition to its highly concentrated structure, the baby formula market is difficult for another reason. Its demand is set by the baby's birth rate. And the market has been shrinking for years. The number of births has declined every year since 2008, except for 2014. With only a few key players whose capacities are tied to shrinking market. Now imagine that. You are running a business that the market is shrinking on all the time, every year. It's getting less and less. So recuperations are inevitable when anything gets in the way of a certain product getting to storage shelves. Other manufacturers are bound to struggle with an influx of new demand from consumers who can't get what they typically buy. It's not a very lucrative market. Says Patrick Penfield, professor of supply chain management at Syracuse University. The only way you can grow your market share is if you're aggressively going after competition. Because Abbott is one of the biggest players in the game already, significantly expanding its share is not really an option. If you can't grow your market share, then you look at how you can reduce cost. And sometimes when you reduce cost, you may not have the right protocols or procedures in place to make sure that you're doing things properly. I'm not saying that's what Abbott Laboratories did, or he cautions, but that would be assumption of mine. FDA, they blamed somewhat because they fell back on inspecting Abbott Laboratories. They did not go back in and inspect. Says now the FDA is working to catch up on a crisis that seems to have been unfolding in slow motion for months. Of course, they're doing everything in their power to ensure there is an adequate product available where and when they need it. Future of formula. I think this is the last bit, yeah. This week, the White House held a press conference to address the shortage and how it plans to get formula restocked as quickly as possible without compromising safety. Those steps include first cutting red tape to get more infant formula to the shelves, urging states to provide flexibility in the WIC program. Okay, I just need to stop here. Those steps include first cutting red tape. Do they seem like they should be cutting red tape? 2 babies died because of a problem in one of the laboratories. I'm just saying, does red tape cutting seem like the best idea at this moment in time? The official outlined a third avenue for alleviating the shortage: foreign imports. Oh, yay, foreign imports, because the supply chain is working so well. I'm going to leave my baby's life in the hands of a foreign import? Okay, well, maybe if the president or vice president takes their planes and they go to a foreign country where it's been made and they pick it up themselves and they bring it back and they drop it off at some supermarkets in between, okay, then okay, we'll do with the foreign stuff. But that's really foolish in my humble opinion. It, normally, the U.S. normally produces 98% of infant formula it consumes. Yay, glad to hear that. And trading partners in Mexico, Chile, Ireland, and the Netherlands are key sources of imports. And the administration in a release said that accompanied the press conference. However, there is no timeline yet. Of course, there is no timeline yet. When pressed about how long the shortage will last, the official said there is no estimate for when Abbott facility will resume functioning. Now, isn't that just a red letter day for babies? I see continued shortages, says Penfield, about the coming weeks. I think there's a lot of pressure on Abbott. Good. All right. So that particular story touches on so many things. Number one, it touches on the basic issue of supply chain. I think most people now, or many people, are coming to understand that there's an actual genuine supply chain problem. There are ships backed up, waiting. Stuff. Your UPS stuff is on ship number 345, okay? All right, let me see who's here real quick. Oh, I meant to take that down, by the way. Stop sharing. Okay, so let me see what I've missed. Fairy Dust, Weep the Wild Winds. Hello, thank you for popping in. And then we have Sean, American Patriot. Thank you for coming. Let's see. Sean, American Patriot. I need to grab my pen because I want to write your name down, your channel. I'm not sure if I've seen you. So I have to scooch out of the picture for a second. Oh, I have to show you this. My little sweet adopted niece, grandniece, left me this today. She was here for a few minutes this afternoon. She said, well, she calls me grandma, actually. She says, I see you, grandma. I love you, grandma. You're doing great on your video. For grandma, K from Emmy. So they were supposed to bring Emmy on so I could say hello to her, and I don't think I see them on here yet. So yeah, anyways, I was going to write down the name of that channel. All right, I do want to make sure I get that channel's name down so I can go over there. Sean, American Patriot. So welcome, Sean. Do you want to, if you're still here, do you want to make a little note of your, anything about your channel you'd like to say? I always like to know, a little something. I always like to meet new people. Okay. All right. So the supply chain is in tatters right now. Hello, Jim Bertrand. Thank you for coming. Glad you're here. So the supply chain has got some issues. I think it's understood at this point. We rely, on it's called a just-in-time formula. Just in time for SHTF is what I'm thinking. That should be named. Well, oh, thank you, sweetie. I'll go back up to you, Kaylee, in a moment. First of all, it's genetics. Our family, there's 6 girls. I'm next to the youngest, and we all have good hair. There was really only one who didn't have great hair, but thank you, Kaylee, very much. But we do. And I like between here and short. As you well know, I love short hair. And I don't know how I'm going to get through the summer and not whack it right off. But I like to, I vacillate, and it takes time. It takes time. When you see somebody like a TV person, a celebrity, in no, let's see, in June with short hair, cute short hair, and then you see them in December on some show, some special, and they got hair down to their butt, and it's gigantic. Would be nice to have instant hair, but it takes time. Oh, well, do you think it makes me look younger than my short hair? That's interesting. Let's go back up here. But I also use good hair. I've always used good hair products. One of the things that our mother did, my little sister's on here today, Priscilla. One of the things our mother did was got us into skincare, not just makeup, but skincare and hair care with a male stylist in town who taught the industry. He not only had his own shop, he taught people how to be stylists and estheticians and whatnot. So we learned those little tricks from because our mother made us to do so. Hello, Victoria May, Life Unfiltered. I hope you're doing well. All right, so we're just talking about right now the supply chain. I'm going to have to give me a second here. Just in time. Supply chain, that's what I wanted. Wow. That's what I'm looking for. So it says here, it's from an online resource called the Balanced Small Business. What is just-in-time supply chain? So a just-in-time supply chain is one that moves material just before it's needed in the manufacturing process. The technique reduces the need to store excessive levels of materials in a warehouse, and it works best when each operation is closely synchronized. Wow, I did not really realize it was quite like that. The just-in-time supply chain aims to reduce timing delays and costs by perfecting the timing. Okay, so I see all kinds of problems with that whole. Here we are. First was the pandemic. We've had 2 years of that at different fluctuating levels, and people were not working. And by the way, let's see. So I think we all I'm going to leave that for myself to read later, but I think we get the idea of what that means. All kinds of problems with that. Personally thinking, and I want to check one more thing while I'm thinking about it. Oh, wow. So as of 4 days ago, there are 400 million people locked down in China on lockdown. I'm making an assumption here, but I think many of us or most of us have seen the pictures of these towns, just dead zones. There is nobody except a few people, apparently one person per apartment building is allowed out at a time to go shop for everybody or for several people. And Shanghai, which there's a lot of stuff made. It's a huge manufacturing location. I'm just looking. It's crazy. All right, well, that's what I wanted to see. All right, so we've got that contributing to the situation. And then I wanted to, you know, so the whole thing about babies is this should never happen. What didn't you know, Kaylee? So you didn't know that many people were locked down in China? Iced coffee. I love iced coffee. Well, Priscilla, so that's not necessarily untrue. People went crazy with online shopping, so hard to keep up with demand. And then when you have the major places where it is made, locked down, all of that stuff that was sitting here completed, that's out the door. And there's nobody to, those people are not working right now. But we in the US have so much of abundance of none of this should be happening. So abundance is true, but I think we have a facade of a level of abundance that we don't actually have. It's obviously the case because I could tell you there are many channels, with one channel in particular, that his channel constantly, the people all over the country and all over the world go into stores and they videotape the shelves. They take pictures of the shelves. There is a lot of empty shelves, not in our community. So I'll tell you about our community in a moment. A full agreement with you, Priscilla. You and I have talked about this many times now. And I get chills when I think about it, because if it doesn't happen and we have to rely on the rest of the world, we're in trouble. I mean, we are in real trouble. This is nothing for what we have coming if that doesn't happen. Now, that is going to happen on a dime, but at least if people understand that we will have to pay more, likely, for many of the things that we need, then that's what we have to do. The Bitter Critter, hello to you. Stopping by to say hello, love your channel. Well, thank you so much. Thank you. I've been by your channel. I love the animals. I love the word Bitter Critter. I do. I love that. And I do see, I want to say, Victoria May, you love iced coffee too. Yeah, I love it. You know what's really weird? I like strong iced coffee, but when my hot coffee, I prefer to be weaker with half and half in it. It's just an oddity. Priscilla. So what's the carrot to corporations that offshore manufacturing? Well, it sounded like in our case that most of the manufacturing is done right here in this country. What the problem is because there's a shrinking population of need. There's less babies born every year, and as a result, they're losing money because it's just they're losing money, and they don't know how to make it up. So I don't know exactly. So I don't have the answers, but at least we have a conversation about it, and people who didn't know maybe now get to think about it. And let's see, Kaylee, what did you say here? I think unchecked greed has hogtied a lot of our abundance. Yes. Family farms all but disappeared. Big ag squeezes every dime out of land that hasn't been sold to be built on. 100%. And all we can do, Kaylee, is what we can do. And it would be nice, Priscilla, if they would stop being greedy. I wish there was a way to carrot them to that, but I don't know that there is. The more carrots they get, the greedier they become. So, you know, they subsidize, well, the employed people in this country subsidize things like car companies, like oh gosh, we've subsidized a lot. Big agriculture has subsidies, and I think that there should be a way to work with these manufacturers of baby formula, because the fact of the matter is not every woman can breastfeed. I breastfed for 1 month. My son would not let go of me. For a month, I had that child. I talked to the doctor. After a certain time, he was getting no nutrition. There was not nutrition there. He was just forming attachment, but he was forming an unhealthy attachment from the get-go. Charlie Grace. Well, hello, Charlie Grace. How are you? I'm glad to see you. You know, it's not too bad. I'm plugging along, working on this other end to the channel. I put a lot of, most of what energy I have goes into that right now. Although I spent a lot of time yesterday watching travel videos, and I so wish we could travel right now. I feel that feeling of, especially once it gets, well, it's been awful weather. It's been horrible weather. And so it's depressing to be in this weather for so many days in a row. We have a gigantic issue in our backyard that my nephew is going to work fixing, so that I can get a garden planted. Otherwise, so that's what I was going to go into also. But yeah, I really miss that we can't travel at this time. Thank you, Charlie Grace. It's growing a little bit. I go back and forth. Like I could wake up on Monday morning and call or make an appointment online with my hairstylist and say it's got to go. But I'm not at that point yet. But I like between short, like you've seen my short hair. I like short hair, and I like longer hair. Today I heard on our news radio that there is a patchwork of lactate mothers pumping their milk to share. Thank you, God. Really, that is amazing. See, that's humanity at its best. Really, that makes me want to cry, because I know what it was like for me. And first of all, I breastfed for a month. And then for my own sanity, I really had to I talked with the doctor, and we decided I had to go. He had to go. We had to disconnect him. And so we got the brand Nuck in UK. I researched, and I felt I really liked the Nuck nipple and product. And so we got that stuff. And I don't know why I didn't pump, though. I will tell you, be honest, nobody really talked to me about doing that. And Brent was my one and only child. Oh, okay, we're going to talk about gardens here, really, in a moment, sweetheart, because that's one of the, I love gardens. I love having a garden. I'm not the most biggest gardener because of my capacity to, what I can and can't do, but I can help. I helped Richard 2 years ago. So anyways, one day we got all that together, and Richard was the first person to give him a bottle. I had to leave the house. I left our apartment. I left him and the baby and the Nuck bottle. When my little sister had her baby, she had part of those kind that you're supposed to squeeze to kind of, it, is it I don't know if it's Gerber or who it is, but you got the little plastic sheath that goes inside of a cylinder, and you put the powder in, and you get it ready for the baby, and then you can actually move it. You could milk it, for lack of a better term. And one night, I was staying with her when she first had her first child, and I believe it was me. It might have been her. I mean, we do this all the time. I think it was me. I squished that, and the milk went all over because I didn't play text. And was that me, or was that you, Priscilla, that squished it and it went all over the mirror? It flew out. It just blew off the top and went all over the place. I knew I was not made for one of those when I had my kid. Yeah, that's right. You had to push the air out. So anyways, it was me. I had a feeling. So yeah, I thought, no. I know me, and that was a bad idea. So anyways, yeah, it was, so that's really cool to hear that there's mothers there are women who are pumping for other babies. That's very cool. I assume it's going through something where it's tested and everybody can be safe. All right. I want to go back up here about the garden. Oh yes, I wish you did too. So I have out here a small raised bed. It's not raised huge. I wish it was. That would make my life much better. So one of the ways that we can abate some of the issues with the supply chain, and you go to the store, and like in some of these towns, I've seen Walmart wiped out of vegetables. Okay, I'm lucky. Priscilla and I live in a town that is flush. Our stores are packed to the brim. In fact, a brand new giant grocery store opened up called Winco. We already have one, and now we have two. Well, just in our town, right next door to us in Springfield, there is also a Winco. So my point is that we're not seeing, I'm sure it's hard for Priscilla she doesn't, I'm the one doing this. And so when I talk about shortages, which is a real issue for many parts of the country, it's not happening in Eugene, Oregon. It is no shortage at all. So when Richard and I went and did a bunch of shopping about a week and a half ago, I would be really surprised if they didn't. And by the way, I mean, sometimes you just got to go on faith. However, that would be very risky. Grocery out, our Winco's was really nice. So anyways, ours is just, we here in this area don't have a problem. And so it's hard to envision unless you intentionally seek out that information, because I don't see it being shown on news like what I'm seeing. And I'm not gonna say that's for any particular reason. One of the thoughts I have about that is the reason they don't is because I believe if everybody knew the serious crisis that was going on, not what's just coming, because what's coming is likely not good, but that there would be a major panic. And so I don't think most of the news organizations are really running to those stores to check it out. And it's actually kind of good, in my opinion, because we get to see it right from the people who live in Timbuktu, not the news who's just monitoring what they give us. it's just being regurgitated by people who are scared. They're getting the videos and they're bringing them, and they're Steve from I will hopefully think of his channel. Oh Lord, I can't believe it's slipped away. I'll try to think of it, and if I don't get a link on there today, it really is well worth looking at his Poplar, Kaylee. It's called Poplar, Poplar Preparedness. Poplar Preparedness. If you might be able to go find that link and drop it down. So and then I get hoping someone is rushing to coordinate something. Yeah, I'm sure they're just trying really hard to get something coordinated, because that's a serious situation when babies, babies are involved. All right, so I wanted to share this one other Children's Hospital of Philadelphia breast milk bank. Okay, so Children's Hospital of Philadelphia is probably testing that breast milk, because if something happened, Children's Hospital of Philadelphia would be liable for it. Ask your YouTube friends that are in other areas of the country what the situation is wherever they are. So we do, that's what I'm talking about. It's shared. People from the South, from the Midwest, and this particular channel, Poplar Preparedness, Steve is his name. He gets stuff from all over the world and sent to him, the videotapes and the pictures. And the other issue is, milk. So there's times when it does not appear there's any milk. Well, there wasn't any milk. There was some of the man-made milk, or how should I put it? It's not necessarily man-made milk. It is like other types of milk. So Priscilla, you might go there sometime and check out Poplar Preparedness and look at the videos. It'll show you right where these people took these videos. And it doesn't matter. It can be in a larger town. It can be in a smaller town. It can be a local store. No, it's not powdered milk. It's like Josh uses. I can't think of the kind of milk Josh uses, but as a vegetarian, Josh does not use regular milk. But I was going to talk about abating some of these issues. One of the things we can do is the whole garden situation. If you're able to garden, I'm never going to be able to garden enough to manage having this almond milk. Priscilla, that's one of them. Yes, almond milk would be one of them. Yep. Plant-based milk. Of course, Grace. Yes, you're always so smart. Thank you, Kaylee. Oh, there we go. Back up here to Kaylee. Plant-based milks, almond, rice, soy, coconut. Yep, absolutely. So one of the things that we can do is we can garden as much as we can. I'm never going to have a garden. First of all, even RV Grandma Charlotte. Hello, thank you for coming by. Glad you're here. Yes, almond, soy, goat. I saw goat's milk in Winco, I think it was, when I went there for the shopping. I went to the new grocery store just to check it out. It's kind of in the middle between one Winco is like 3 miles away and the other is 5 miles away. And we had to go check it out once. And so it was a nice store. It's a store. It's a grocery store. They did have a nice selection of like I got big package of rice at 25, I think it's 25 pounds. And I got 25 pounds of beans. And so I'm, you know, going to be getting some more things. So back to the gardening thing. I like to think about what produce I buy at the grocery store now, and then see if I can grow it. Tomatoes, lettuce, blueberry, squash. You know, that's very basic. We've got blueberry bushes out there, about 3 or 4 of them. And Priscilla Peggy said she never knew we had blueberries. Had they lived here a year? You love Winco, okay? Yes, I love Winco too. Love their bulk food section. Thank you. Bulk food section. They have a really good bulk food section, and it's the very back of the store. And up on the wall, they have all kinds of things that are, they have all the bulk food bins, like you could put in whatever you want, but already prepackaged, like 50 pounds of rice, 50 pounds of beans, 50 pounds of oatmeal. So I've been stocking up. So I keep getting myself off track. So I like having a garden. Basic things: tomatoes, peppers, squash, zucchini. Is there more than no, I know there's a lot more. I really would like to grow onions. I would like to try onions. And there's also you're going to not believe this because I didn't. There is actually a 50% supply issue with potatoes. So if you like potatoes, and this particular household goes through a ton of French fries, because Josh is the king of French fry makers in the air fryer. And so we're always eating French fries. And so that's another issue. I've totally not even researched it much, but I have seen people talking about it. And there's a reason that there is a 50% fall in potatoes. I don't know if it's some kind of blight or what happened.
Broken heart.
Bro, yeah, broken heart, Josh. I know. What will they make French fries out of next, do you think?
You know, we do have all these potato patties that we've got sitting around here, so I would just start making those if we ran out.
Yeah.
Because those are good, man. You're sorry.
I've grown veggies since a kid. My family, I have it. So did we. My dad. We started with my father. So I have a teeny garden now, and having a hard time starting this year. I'm determined to expand it and share. People love my tomatoes, peppers especially. Oh, I'm sure. Those. Kaylee said, diet French fries. Well, you know, you could make them out of zucchini. You know, they've got those little veggie fries.
Yeah.
Yes, veggie fries. Soy fries. I don't know about soy fries. I mean, I'd really have to try them. Ghost and habanero. Oh, I love ghost and habanero peppers. And I have pilfered. Well, they shouldn't have bought it to my house to start with, but I have pilfered a hot sauce that William and Peggy brought over a few weeks ago. That's really good. Very good hot sauce. So growing our own vegetables to the best of our ability. What I do know and I understand, and every prepper I have listened to in the last 3 months, 4 months, 5, whatever it's been since I've been doing this, everyone has said that most people are never going to, you know, in a short order anyways, can everything they need. So to have backups, that's why I go to the store and I buy I'll show you 2 things. I have to sit down careful. Okay. So my husband is now thinking in those terms as well. And I turned around 2 shopping trips ago, and he had like 12 of these albacore bumblebee chunk. Oh, this is what chunk white albacore.
I didn't get enough of those. Those will save your life.
Yes, and you know who else likes this? The dogs.
Yes, everybody can eat that. I have often been found eating those. This is sinful, and you should just basically like make me sleep on the porch for this. But I have been found to snack on those right out of the can like a cat would.
Oh, that's
like
interesting.
You just open the can up,
yes.
little hot sauce, drain out the water, hot sauce, mix it around, eat it out of the can. Like I'm like feline Joshie.
Never heard just doing it that way, but yes.
Done that many times.
You just gave me an idea. Here's another thing that we are stocking up on.
Pancake mix.
This is 10 pounds. We have another one that's already open. We have 2 more of these, and then we have a smaller one. So things that I know that we use, and then they will be rotated out. These are not just going to sit there and rot. So to stock up, as well as if you can, I now have a canner, and I have got a project that I'm going to work on this weekend. And my little sister brought me, I thought I said here. Well, I'll do a video on it, but my little sister brought me a, I love rice cauliflower, then form into shaped fries. Yes, I like cauliflower pizza, cauliflower crust pizza. I love it. I don't think I'll need to go back to a dough crust unless I go, like Papa's Pizza. I just love Papa's Pizza and Abby's. And Josh likes mezzaluna. My son-in-law is across from me making him and probably Richard something to eat. He likes a place in town called Mezzaluna. I don't necessarily like it so much. There's something, I'm just not sure. And I know people going to say I'm crazy. Really, I know, Josh. Air fryer.
As my dad used to say, that's okay. More for me.
I know, Josh. More for you. All right, Scylla, I will talk to you later on. Kaylee, can't do spicy. Darn near burnt my tongue off unexpectedly with so we have Richard can't do it either. Basically, mostly because of a medication that he takes. And a medication that he takes, it causes things that are hot to be hotter. But one time we were, Brent loved, his preference for his birthday has always been to go to Chinese food. He loves Asian food, and he liked to go to this one particular place. And so he took a bite, and it was one of the peppers that is in some Asian food, and it's kind of a hard pepper, and it's a hot pepper actually. And it felt he couldn't breathe, he couldn't swallow. They had no milk in the building. Oh. He had to leave the restaurant and go to a store to get milk.
That happened to me once because of camarones del diablo. You know what that is?
Well, I know what. Yeah, I think it's shrimp, spicy shrimp.
It's this Mexican dish where they make it. The sauce
is red.
It's like your head would blow off. I mean, it's just sick. El diablo.
The devil.
We went to spring training, 2011 in Phoenix, Arizona, and we went to this Mexican restaurant, a whole bunch of us. And I got that camarones del diablo, and I had to run out of the restaurant.
I've had that.
I had to run out of the place.
I've had that. Camarones El Diablo. I've had that too at a Mexican restaurant.
Hotter than hell. Oh
yes. It's hot. Because we're crazy people. Part of the shortage on potatoes is due to the worldwide demand for French fries. Near me, they built the biggest.
The worldwide French fry shortage has been caused by the residents of 927 Travis.
Could be. So near Kaylee, they built the biggest freezer storage in the United States. It's primarily for French fries. Trucks coming and going 24. Are you serious, Kaylee? That's too funny. I'll tell you, I don't begrudge restaurants their money. I don't begrudge wealthy people their money.
I do.
I know. I begrudge restaurants the money they charge for French fries. Because are you aware they probably make a 5,000%? I mean, in the bulk they buy, it's crazy. All right, so I back up, whatever I do get to plant. I obviously this year won't be able to probably can much, but I do plan on getting some things we are lucky we live near orchards. We're within 5 miles of 3 or 4 major orchards.
We drove by that.
We have some good stuff in the neighborhood. And so we will be able to get, we'll be fine. But I do still plan on stacking and stacking. Kaylee, I haven't tried. It's delicious. You ought to try it. I would have never thunk it, sweetie. I am not somebody who really, I do like vegetarian stuff. I'm not, unfamiliar with eating vegetarian food. I like it. However, I have fallen in love with Chipotle black bean burgers. I did get us some regular burgers because once in a while Richard and I want a regular burger, but I would have never thunk it if I had not tried it. And I loved it. I've fallen in love with that. Bread is better to use. I know. Milk contains fat and tends to make things worse. Yeah, it's true. That is true. Yeah, Kaylee. It's a circus around here. We had a bunch of little kids for over here several days this last week. It was so fun because this house was filled with children. I have nieces and nephews that are close to my own age. All right. So I grew up with little kids in whatever house we lived in, all over the place. Nomad hat. There she is. I was just telling them about the sweet little kids we had in the house several times this week. And the little girl who wrote me this note, that's not a note, that's a blank piece of paper. This note, little Kaylee wrote me a note, Josh. And that is her grandma right there. And so I said, please bring her on so she can see the show. So hello, sweetheart. I am so glad that you are here, both of you. Emmy and the cutest little boy you ever saw. Liam is adorable. He is precious. They both are precious. First house was on a country road, 3 peach orchards within we grew up around that too. We had cherry orchards right across from us where we lived before this house, before my father built this house. There was orchards all over the place. Apple orchards, peach, cherry. Asia is one of the biggest demand for French fries, especially Japan. I read that. I did read that when I was doing a little of the research on potatoes, which is interesting to me because I always see them as being so healthy. They're all, not all, that's characterization. They, so many of them just look very fit, very healthy. After cauliflower rice, yuck. You should try making it yourself. And I'll bet you I could make you cauliflower rice that you would like. And I don't even mind switching that out, the potato out for that. I've made mashed cauliflower rice. And you really, truly, you might be able to detect a bit of a difference on the tongue, the texture. But honestly, I just, as a diabetic that might make pizza, okay, I'm telling you, try it one time. And I've got one sitting out in the freezer. I think Richard and I are having for dinner tonight. Apartment prepper, hello. Thank you for coming by. Glad you're here. We're kind of getting ready to wrap up. We just talked we talked about the supply chain, some of the supply chain issues. I started by using the example of baby formula. And unfortunately, since there's only 3 makers of baby formula, and the biggest one is offline right now because of a contaminated factory. Okay,
Did
so
you see that? Did you see that factory, that company that runs that factory, went to Congress in 2019, 18, and successfully lobbied to get rid of the regulations on those bacteria that they are now closed down. True story.
2 babies died.
Yeah.
So, and so then we talked about that. We talked about what the just-in-time supply chain means, and it means just that. They do not manufacture stuff until just before somebody's going to need it. But they didn't anticipate 400 million Chinese being locked down for this extended period of time, and their, manufacturing is shut down. And it's not because they have a big outbreak. They just, it's, I don't really know, and I'm not going to go into that today. I don't really know what's going on, but me and Josh may sometime have a show about that. Although my son said he never wants to even know that we're having
one. He'll disown me.
No, we'll come out of it friends, Josh. I have no.
No, I would not be, I wouldn't be arguing against you.
I know.
Not the problem.
No.
I know what the problem is, and it's not you.
I know. I do know that.
The problem, it has names and addresses, and they're not yours.
Yes, that's true. So I'm trying to think of the country. It's one of the third world countries. Maybe India, but I don't think it's India. They have no food, and they're sick of it, and they have been attacking the police, and they've burned down 38 politicians' houses.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of the country, but it's one that I would know if my brain was
Someday.
not. Yes, Kaylee, if you wanted to drop that, please, that would be great. I'm grateful you've come by. So there are apartment preppers, and there are ways for people to prep. I'm going to show you if I can get this done. I'm going to bring another camera into this, and I'm going to show you where I've got stuff stashed right now. And I'm going to really work at you not seeing the mess. Just all right. So I know how to do this, Kaylee. I've done it before. I need to switch cameras. Oh, I know where I need to go. I just remembered. Sri Lanka. No, that's not where I need to go, but it's Sri Lanka. They are mad, and I don't blame them. And so I was listening to someone today talk about that, and the idea that we think in this country that can never happen here. Exactly my sentiment, Josh. And so there's all kinds of prepping areas we need to pay attention to, from food to water to security to making sure we have enough to the best of our ability.
What's crazy though, I gotta say this. What's crazy is not that people believe that it can't happen here.
Right.
But why?
Why do they believe that?
Right. That's the crazy, racist, completely unearned supremacy viewpoint that makes people here think that they are somehow in another galaxy from the rest of the unified biological sphere that forms this planet.
So I think, Josh, so part of that is that we have a government that for the eons that it's been in existence have, framed things in a way that why would we, most people, and if you look around, like I'm talking to these folks right now, there are parts of this country that their shelves are bare. Here in Eugene, Oregon, we are plumb full of groceries. If you need anything, send me a grocery list, a couple big boxes,
We'll just go shopping.
I'll go
We're on
shopping
the
for you.
way.
But we'll get a big bus. We'll get a
I
U-Haul.
was going to say, you say we have a government. No, you have multinational, transnational
Yes.
corporations that own and operate a government.
That's right.
That's why you're in the position of suffering an objection that you are.
That's right. I'm not just.
I believe in correct phrasing. You know? I believe in
Yes.
saying what is in the most clearest possible terms that can't be driven around in the little messed up jalopy that we're driving around this world
Oh,
as the ruling classes live on an island with orchards.
it is a cute little clown car jalopy where there's
We're
clowns.
in a clown car right now. Oh, we are in a clown,
We are in a clown car.
of the most abundant planet in this sector, and most people, 99% of people live in total poverty. That's the clown car we in right now.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Kaylee, thank you so much. You really have been here from very early on with us, and I don't even have a proper way of thanking you. There's just not. Kaylee, in my opinion, and trust me, I know a lot of. I have some good moderators, and Kaylee has been. She moderates lots of other people, or has anyways. And I started out in the van life, the travel community that is very tight. A lot of people who are really connected. And Kaylee is moderated for so many people. And she is adored by the channel. Who needs moderators?
It's a good
So
song,
Kaylee
Marillion.
is an asset. Kaylee is an asset. Your car is 2005, can't pass inspection, can't afford to fix it. I understand. So yes, I understand that. I do. So I was going to try and figure out how to get the camera on my phone. I need to go to StreamYard. Just a second, Josh.
StreamYard.
STR. There we go, StreamYard. Because I need to bring up my channel. I want to show you just a little
While
quick.
she's going to stream it, I'm going to tell Kaylee that she should go online right now and look up this song by the band Marillion from 1983 called Kaylee, which is her theme song.
Oh,
It was a big hit too.
I did not know there was a song named
There it
Kaylee.
is, Kaylee.
Kaylee, there you go.
It's a good song too. It's one of probably their most famous songs.
Oh, I'm not gonna. It's really taking me longer than I had intended, and I have to go get a code. And I know you do. You're a tough lady, Kaylee. And please keep me informed about your heart. That really is serious. And I know, you probably got your doctors will know right what to do. But look up, look up that one thing Priscilla told you about, the life vest that Kelly had to wear. Okay. I think for now, that's what I'm going to end on. I didn't cover everything. We just didn't have time. And I know there's other channels out there people probably want to go hang out at. I think there's a couple of, I believe cannot believe my brain is this tired. Van Vita Travels is on today at some time, and I will. Okay, so would you want me to give her your phone number? I can also. She won't care if I give you hers. I know that. Okay, so I do have more for next time. And I'm very glad you guys came and hung out with me. If you're new to the channel, thank you, Vicky. Vicky, please, can you drop Vicky's channel, please, Kaylee, for me, for us? Victoria May, Life Unfiltered. If you are still having, I'm not sure, but I believe you're still having to, she has a channel, and on Wednesdays at, I believe, 4 o'clock Pacific time, she has a chat. And there's people who sing sometimes. There are people who tell jokes. There's just hangout. Victoria is another excellent moderator. Victoria's a sweet lady. And so, anyways, that's what I'm glad you caught part of it too. There's so much to learn about prepping. Really, my mother was probably one of the original preppers, and my mom passed 31 years ago, and probably didn't prep or do any of her canning, any of that for the last 7 years. I don't know how many of you, did any of you get to watch? If you watched the video I recommended, it was the video I did today and put up this morning. I just got up and I felt compelled to do that video in my nightgown. No, I did brush my hair, no makeup, just coffee, me, and my thoughts. And 9 Eastern, 876. I think it's 6 o'clock Pacific time, but 90. Yeah, it is. And Victoria, okay. So it sounds like she's still having her show. So I recommend you check Victoria out. She's a fun lady, and there's lots of fun people that come to her channel. In the meantime, just keep watching. Pay attention. If this is the first time you heard some of this, please go check it out yourself. I never recommend you take my word for it. I don't take anybody else's word. I hear something and I think, what's that about? My degree in human services, I got it on the backbone of research. That is how I got my degree at 50 years of age. And I was going into public policy. I was in a master's degree program 12 years ago when my back started collapsing. And I've had 12, 13 maybe surgeries since then. So the reason I share that is because that's my forte as research. So this gives me something interesting to do in a format that I'm very used to, and I don't feel like I've wasted that degree, because I'm disabled now. It's severe enough I am disabled. And so I recommend, as Kaylee is saying right here, always get facts from as many reputable. So always remember, here's something I never assume, that there's what someone is sharing is a fact. I really have to look at multiple sources from different angles.
Can I say
because
something? It's important. You look on a bumper sticker. This is my bumper sticker for today.
Your bumper sticker for today.
There is no information possible in capitalism, only propaganda.
And that's true. That's true. Only propaganda. And by the way, we all use propaganda in one form or another. Every day. It's not necessarily a bad word, but it's a real word. And I think we should get used to it. So there we go.
To disrail that, but I have to say.
No, that's fine. That would be a good bumper sticker. And so would the one guy said in that show that you always quote it to me about the network or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But we'll talk about that.
There are no nations, Mr. Beale. There are no Russians. There are no Arabs. There is no West. That's the greatest 5 minutes and 12 seconds in the history of American cinema. That
was from the show, the movie. What's it called again?
Network.
Oscar winning, yes. And that the guy who did it, I see his face plain as day.
Peter Finch.
No, not Peter Finch.
Peter Finch is the only actor ever awarded the Best Actor Oscar posthumously for that movie.
You told me it was somebody else, but you probably forgot.
Peter Finch is the guy that in the movie that is the main character that keeps exhorting the people watching that they're going to go to the window, open it, it became a cliche. It became like a catchphrase in culture.
Uh-huh.
You open the window and you scream out, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore."
Yes.
And he gets the whole country screaming out the window, "I'm as mad as hell, I'm not going to take this anymore." And eventually he becomes so popular that the network has to assassinate him.
Oh, good Lord. We'll have none of that. All right. So Vicky is sick right now. You will do lives. Yeah, we'll do lives again when I feel better. Thank you, sweetheart. Well, I wish you well, and I'll be praying for you to get better. Being sick is no fun. Kaylee, no, you haven't. The way you think, research about this. So yeah, when you drove south and took a left at Los Angeles to get to Quartzsite, we were all worried. Yeah, I do have the big, I do have the big map thing now, and I can't wait to. I truly can't wait to travel again. I really can't. By the way, tomorrow I go at 2:15 to get my CAT scan of my spine, my lower spine, because my doctor, my neurosurgeon thinks his very first fusion, the one where not he, but a nurse later on almost killed me, had to end up putting me in ICU. She dropped me, I hit my head,
Oh my God, really?
Yes, and I did not sue that hospital.
What?
That's why I have lifelong damage.
That is my friend Clover. She was fundraising with us at the Women's Center there.
Uh-huh.
She went for a routine surgery to clean up some stuff that was in her neck, and she never walked again. They completely severed her spine.
OMG.
Unbelievable, dude. We went to see her. She could not even fucking walk. It was unbelievable. She was like those paraplegics you see. And when we last saw her, she was like, "Okay, I'm going to get my surgery," like this. And she came back, bolted to a wheelchair, only able to move her eyes. I swear to you, it was so tragic.
Well,
it was unbelievable. I will never forget it. I was like, I just don't believe it. I just don't believe that this is possible, that they can get away with this.
Yeah.
And that's similar to what happened to you.
My neurosurgeon wasn't my neurosurgeon's fault. He was very unhappy, and so yeah, when he discovered that, I'll never forget his face. So that's what I'm doing tomorrow, and then Monday I'm going for a nerve conduction test on my left leg, because all of that has been done on my right leg, which is where most of the pain has been. So I can't, Kaylee. You only have 3 years after you know about the event. And I was in bad shape for a long time. I mean, my brain, I couldn't even think. It was tough recovery. That first recovery was a bitch. Sorry for the bad language. If you're on here and you don't like bad language. It was a horror story. For 2 years, my son kept saying, "Mom, you better get a hold of somebody and talk to him." I just couldn't. I didn't have any energy. I lost, so anyways, I lost a lot from that. That's why I have to take Coumadin the rest of my life, because there's just damage that was caused. So anyways, all right, on a nicer, fun topic. No, I'm living with it. I'm most of the time above my blankets.
I spend most of my time
bumper sticker.
vertical.
All right, I'm having a hard time saying goodbye, but I need to say goodbye. I love you guys. Take care. Stay safe. Stay healthy, or get healthy, Vicky. And we love and appreciate you all. Thank you so much.